Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the final round of the Ride365.com Nationals powered by Versus PC in MX Simulator. Round number 12, the Ironman National in Indiana. My name is Kellen Brauer, going solo here for the beginning. Live here on Start Your Systems TV, and we have the 250 class coming up first. And for those of you guys just watching this for the first time, the 250cc underpowered machines in this game, and in real life, really, for that matter. We'll be having two 30-minute plus 2-lap motos in succession after this consolation race is over. And this consolation race only features 5 people. Basically what a consolation race is, also, for any of you new viewers or, just repeating for the same viewers. It's basically like a last chance qualifier, so these guys didn't quite make it into the motos just yet. They qualified anywhere between 37 on back, probably even further back than that, because it seems like with only 41 riders here that some people outside of the Fast 36 snuck in straight into the motos. So these guys couldn't quite qualify in on time. They now have to race their way in, so it's a little 4-lap scramble race kind of thing. And the first 4 guys over the finish line join the Fast 36 to make a 40-man gate that goes 30 minutes plus 2 laps twice for the finale here at Indiana. Right now we got Reno Brennan leading this thing for Wildside Designs. Tanner Rogers is in second. Jesse Calloway is in third. And actually a good battle going on for third. Blake Rowland. Moto Savage has, that is Steven Azarkovich. I believe, at least it's all of his setup. Getting past him because Rowland went down. He's getting Riley off the side of the track over here. And chat is already off the chain tonight. I love when the chat is good, and it was really good last week, obviously, for several reasons, and that included, but not limited to, the amount of alcohol consumed by myself and my now best man at my wedding, Aaron. But good to see you guys tonight. Got a lot of people hanging out in chat already. Got a Sony, Mabel Maxi, Roscoe 4343, SGL Production TV, FTX Gaming 2, Harry White. Awesome. Love seeing a full chat room. We're going to bring you guys all this action here tonight. The final round. Sad last 3 hours of streaming this year for me. Kind of looking forward to it being over, but also it is sad that it's over. We've gone 29 rounds. So 29 races in roughly 40 weeks. Give or take, maybe probably even less than that. We've only had 5 off weeks this year, and we had 3 out. Yes, about 5-6 off weeks maybe. So actually, in about 35 weeks, we've gone 29 rounds. If you include Supercross outdoors, obviously only 12 rounds, as this is the 12th and final round, and we had 3 breaks in this outdoor season. So it's come down to the wire, come down to the last round. And fortunately for us, viewers at home, there is a championship battle coming down to the wire somewhat in this 250 class. It's not as close as it was when we left Unadilla. But Colton Mitchell and Sean Klein are still within reach of each other. Colton Mitchell has, I believe, a 25-point lead. Will actually bring up those standings right now. And there it is on your screen. Colton Mitchell leading 431 to 405. They are obviously the only 2 still mathematically alive to win the championship. Jordan Moxey was mathematically eliminated 2 rounds ago, I believe, actually. So it's been a little bit just down to these 2 for a while. And Klein kind of needs a miracle, being 26 points down. My math is pretty spotty, but I believe that means that Colton Mitchell would have to finish 10th twice, while Klein goes 1-1 to win the championship. Obviously, if they tie, Colt Mitchell has that tiebreaker, given that he has 5 overall wins this season to Klein's 2. So Klein really needs a miracle, for lack of a better term, to come about to get this one home here. And whether or not that's going to happen, obviously we will see. But right now looking a little bleak. Regardless, it's still going to provide some awesome racing for us tonight because there could be some tactics in play. Perhaps Sean Klein goes the extra mile to rough up Colton Mitchell a little bit, make sure he hits the ground once or twice, maybe to lose some spots, or maybe they'll just battle straight up to the finish for one last battle for supremacy. They've been two of the fastest riders, not only all season, but in the past few weeks as well, with them kind of swapping overalls back and forth. Klein winning at Unadilla, and I believe Mitchell was able to sneak in that win last week. But that is the status where we are tonight, and what's going to happen. Well, that's why you guys are here to find out, or maybe you're just here to sit back, maybe grab a few brewskis, grab a cold glass of milk, or maybe sit down and enjoy your dinner. I don't know, whatever the things it is that you do when you sit here and watch our streams. I don't really mind what it is that you do, but I'm glad that you're here watching. What's up, Lux User? How are you tonight? We got VMXtra75 in here. Am I playing any other games than MX games? Actually, that's a nice question because there's a lot of new games expected to come out very soon. Milestone actually just announced today. I don't know why I didn't post it on our social feeds. Milestone officially for E3 announcing. Damn, I just totally forgot. I think it's called Gravel. Which seems to be some sort of like off-road rally, off-road truck type of racing game. Looks pretty cool. I'm excited to see that one come out, and certainly we'll play that. But the newest title that is coming out this week, I think it comes out tomorrow actually, or it might come out Saturday, is F1 2017. And if you guys remember, did an F1 series last time out. Didn't really go too far with it, but I'm hoping to do like a full career mode series with the F1 games this time around. And then obviously when the bigger games like Forza, the new Gran Turismo come out, I want to get more into those type of racing games as well. So we will see. So again, final lap of this 4-lap race, and it's pretty well spread out. Looks like Blake, I keep messing his name up, Blake Rowland, is going to unfortunately be the lone soul that showed up tonight that will not qualify into the motos. But at least he got out here, got some stream time, got a little bit of racing in there. Always fun to come and race regardless of whether it's for points or just for fun. Yes, Alex Effort's also bringing up Project Cars 2. I remember seeing some of the recent screenshots those guys were posting. Really, I see this stuff all the time. I don't know why I don't post it on our SYS social feeds more often, but hope to play all those games, really. All those games and some. Want to get more into like the MotoGP series, maybe purchase Ride 2 or something like that. Trying to get a whole gamut of racing games going. Yeah, it's brutal for you guys in Europe. 3 o'clock in Germany, says Sony in chat. Yeah, I couldn't envy you right now. Just came back from the East Coast last weekend of the United States, and even that was a little unsoothing. Reno Brennan was about to win this consi, but he slid it down before the line. It looks like he's doing a little bit of funsies here. And crosses the line to take the checkered flag, so he's going through the motos. Tanner Rogers looks like he's going to join him, as will Steven Azarkovich. And Jesse Calloway has a big enough gap. Maybe one fall-off crash makes this thing interesting, but I don't see that happening. We've got 2 corners to go, almost 1 corner to go as Calloway cruises his way into this one. Nice little wheelie down the straightaway for the number 72 machine, and through that final corner, Calloway will be the final rider into the motos tonight. Rowland was a disconnect anyway. So that's the final of the field. We will go through and, of course, pick our versus PC one to watch in just a moment in this 250 Moto number 1 coming up here in just a second. But we want to hit up the Moto Option clothing keys to the race, motooptionclothing.com. Been a great sponsor of our series for a long time, and has been the title sponsor of the Supercross series 6 years on, going on to 7, hopefully, next year. for 2018. But Moto Option Clothing, great guys over there. Definitely check them out. And the keys to the race tonight are to just wrap this one up with a solid ride. Obviously, you want to go out with a better finish than what you may have had all year long. We're all just here for fun tonight for the most part, other than our 2 championship combatants that are still alive for the championship in the 250 class. So I think the key to the race for this one is really just to go out there, not think about anything, just go ride and play sim like a lot of these guys just do during the week anyway, and that should usually produce a better result. So Moto Option key to the race, not keys, key to the race tonight, just to go have fun with it. It's the final round, knock off the cobwebs a little bit, and one last time, send it for the children. So we're coming up with 250 Moto number 1 here in just a second. I just saw in chat that our lovable SYS tech guy there, Nate Zaworski, is wanting me to drink the alcoholic beverages. I'm going to have to take a rain check on that tonight. My liver is still not feeling that great from last week's intake of alcohol, let alone the fact that you and I, Nate, and Hannah, all of last weekend spent 3 or 4 days in a row drinking in Pennsylvania. So I can't really do that anymore. I need to take a break because I've felt like kind of crappy all week. And just a reminder or a warning, if you will, to all of you kiddos out there. I drank very heavily last week during the stream. Yes, it was fun. The day after, not so much fun. I had to take 2 plane flights. One very early in the morning out of San Diego, landed in Dallas, and then Dallas to Pennsylvania. I was miserable the whole day, had really bad motion sickness, and was very fatigued once I landed in Pennsylvania. So side effects of drinking, usually not a positive one. All right, well, just because he has said it over and 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 over again in chat, and because I don't think we have picked him all year, Jack Gatland of the Blizzard MX team will be our versus PC one to watch here in 250 Moto 1, so hopefully he puts in a solid ride, if not just able to finish out these motos. We've sometimes picked a versus PC one to watch, and they have not gone on to completely finish the moto. Right now, this is a parade lap for anybody that's confused about it. Here is Sean Klein, 26 points back in the championship behind Colton Mitchell, and he's looking to do the best he can tonight. I haven't seen Mitchell roaming around yet. Might be somewhere mixed in here, though. Oh, we got Jeremy Smith in the house tonight. Obviously, Smith coming off of a, I believe, dislocated shoulder in a heavy first turn crash at Unadilla a few weeks back in real life. So good to see him back out here. Obviously not the reason we would have hoped to see him back, as he is sitting on the sidelines from his real-life moto career with an injury. But that also means we get to see a little bit more of him out here racing. And here is points leader Colton Mitchell, Prime Designs Graphics, number 10, looking to turn that into a number 1 at the end of this season. And rumors floating about that we may see Alexis Leclerc tonight in the 450 class. And the only reason I bring that up is because Colton Mitchell is the only person eligible at this point, other than if Klein were to win the championship, to pick a single-digit number next year. Leclerc's 7 is up, Dupuis' 6 is up, Downan's 2 is up, and I think those are the only numbers that are openly available. So trying to decide exactly where he might land on that list. But we're about to find out where these guys land in this race as that board turns sideways. Let's rev up those engines, and who's going to get that whole shot? And it's not coming from Moxie. He had a terrible jump. Instead, it's going to be the 31 machine of Daniel Mills leading him through into the first corner. So Mills down the hill has been getting great starts this year, as has Jonathan Hughes. We've seen Hughes run up front a few times. Oh, and he cuts across Seaberg. Seaberg goes up and over the bars. So he's going to take out a little bit of the field there. I see lights on the 201 giving chase back there in third, but it's Mills sending it into the rollers. He's leading this thing and looking fresh. He is looking to cap out his season with a nice ride. We saw him win his first ever 250 main event earlier this year at Daytona, as Hughes loses the front end in the ruts behind him. So he's going to lose second to Leitzel. We got Isaiah Dickerson up in the mix. Hughes actually still gets up running in fourth. So Everything's settling in as Dickerson swings wide off the track. Hughes gets back by. I don't believe the guys behind him will get to him, although maybe Sean Klein sends the triple. He does. Does he get around all these guys? Well, he gets Dickerson. I don't think he has enough to get around Smith. No, Smith around the outside holds it on. So 4 and 74 locked in a little battle here for fourth. These guys all kind of funnel in. It's chaos in those first few corners. If you can get away and get into these positions where these guys are now, it's usually very, very beneficial going further into the races. You don't end up back in the pack with some of the guys sending it and going all over the track, and really just chaos in the middle of the pack. These guys all have some kind of clear sailing to run with, a little bit of gaps in between all of them already. But they're all giving chase to Daniel Mills on the 31 DRT ride. He's going to come down and looks like he's going to lead the opening lap here. Moto number 1 at the 250 class. Final round at Indiana in MX Simulator Pro competition this year. Touched a little bit on it in that opening lap that Mills was able to sneak in his first ever Race Factor Gaming victory in the 250 East race at Daytona earlier this year. Fantastic ride that night. And he's looking, like I said, to end the season on a positive note to kind of cap off what was one of his better seasons of his quote-unquote career as he slides it down. Daniel Mills is a super duper OG to this game. Everybody has a UID number. And if you don't, well, then you're probably playing the game wrong. But Daniel Mills has a UID number in in 21, 22, something like that. Very, very low. Obviously, we talk about August Sanders, who was the first ever official person to purchase the game. He has UID number 2. Obviously, Josh Vanderhoof, a.k.a. JLV, has UID number 1. But Daniel Mills, one of the true originators of this game, has been around the block a few times, and it was good to see him get a win, and it's good to see him leading this thing. But Logan Leitzel has been kind of the surprise to wrap out the season here. I spoke with him a few rounds ago, and he was talking about how he really badly wanted to at least just get a national number this year, obviously running that triple-digit 201, and was actually sitting outside of the top 100 in GNC up until he put in a couple really solid rides at Unadilla, and then followed it up last week at Budds Creek by finishing on the podium in one of the motos. So Leitzel's come on strong, and he's trying to come on strong to the back of Daniel Mills as we got a little dualies action. Leitzel going for the lead already. We are not even on to the third lap. Still lap number 2. These guys come around. You can track the time that we are into the moto on the top left-hand corner of the screen, and how many laps we've also put down, or actually what lap we are on, I should say. The top right-hand corner of the screen, and of course the top of the screen, the ticker revealing where your favorite rider may be on the track as Leitzel scrubs it down, and he comes alongside of Daniel Mills, and Mills scrubs it high and tight around the outside to try to hold on to the lead. He's going to swing around the outside as Leitzel throws it down the inside, but just can't quite get it, and Mills loses the front end again. He did that a lap ago, almost in the same spot, and Logan Leitzel goes to the race lead on the number 201 TMFR ride. And given the gap that he already has on D Mills and the rest of the field, this may be a little bit of time for Leitzel to kind of check out and maybe sneak in a moto win before this season is over. That'd be fantastic. Meanwhile, Sean Klein had moved around Jeremy Smith and just got a little bit bigger of a gap on him now as Smith laid it down for the mechanics area. So these two have kind of been weaving their way towards the front as they got around Jonathan Hughes, and aren't too far back now of second place, which is Daniel Mills. And they're trying to kind of go along with each other. Let's take a quick sneak back in the pack and see if we can't find our points leader, Colton Mitchell. Here he is. I believe this is 9th. So Mitchell doing a decent enough job to this point to try to clinch that title tonight. At this point, he will not clinch after the first moto, which is probably his ideal scenario to kind of just wrap it up and get it over with. And he is going to go around down rider there. That was Ben Siebert down on the inside, so that actually moves Mitchell into 9th. He's going to try to give chase now to Jordan Moxey, who's right in front of him there. But as mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast, Mitchell, I think, needs to go 10-10 or better to win the championship here tonight. Right now he is in 8th, so that helps, or 9th rather. Got a good little mix of guys going into a battle in front of him here, as Edward Mora has Isaiah Dickerson closing in on him. You can see Jordan Moxey just at the tail of that on the 57 Architect Yamaha. So Dickerson looks to be giving Mora a little bit of fits here. Dickerson has been blazing fast since he turned pro back at High Point. Just has struggled somewhat to put full races together, and by that I mean Moto 1 and Moto 2. He's had some standout rides in either moto, but hasn't really had a week yet where it's a solid effort that ends him inside of the top 5. Starting it off right tonight, though, with a good start. It's kind of faded back into this battle and can't quite seem to get around Mora, and that's slowly opening the door for not only Moxey behind him, but you can see Mitchell's kind of sneaking into this battle now. Ooh, Mora has a big bobble, jumps off the left side of the track, so that's going to give Dickerson the spot, and Moxey also going to squeak by Mora, and there is Mitchell coming right into the back of your screen there. So Mora loses 2 spots on one really kind of small mistake. He only lost a couple seconds. Much nicer of a mistake than just a flat-out fall-off crash, which that very well could have been. Now Mitchell's giving chase to him. We might peek up and look at this battle, though, as Moxey is suddenly giving Dickerson a good run. Alex Heckman checking in chat saying he will front flip something in the 450 races tonight. So he's already feeling frisky, it seems, as Moxey tries to use an outside line to his advantage. These lines almost come together. I don't know if Dickerson didn't know he was there or what, but definitely laid it over hard. And now Moxey trying to change up his lines, not following, which is always good when you're trying to make a pass, because sometimes these guys just outright crash. You don't want to be following because you will crash with them. As you can see, Mitchell in the background has gotten around Morris, so he's going to sneak up into this battle soon, I assume. This guy's all kind of sending it down by what I think used to be the old mechanics area. Guess it's not the mechanics area. Oh, that's Jeremy Smith on the side of the track. Not sure how he ended up there. Must have high-sided and slid off the inside. Ends up falling off the bike, though. Now he has Tyler Lewis right behind him, Relaxed Tire's own Tyler Lewis. So this is a mixture of old and new Suzukis, as JS4 running the 17, and Tyler Lewis is on the 18 Suzuki. Look at him send it almost 3 deep into the rollers, and he's pulling alongside of Jeremy Smith going up the hill. Smith trying to get that power down, and they have Isaiah Dickerson right in front of them there. Look at Lewis around the outside. Great action here. And not far behind this, I believe, is Lewis's teammate Devin Ryan. So kind of well, I thought Devin Ryan was there. You see Smith continuing to use that inside line, but he can't get the triple. And that's kind of what's been costing him, I feel like. But right there, fortunate enough that Lewis ends up going down, or else they may have had a moment or two when Smith didn't jump the triple, and looked like Lewis was certainly going to do it. So now Dickerson has gone backwards from this battle. Mitchell now closing on Moxey. So let's kind of reset things here for a moment. Leitzel leads from Daniel Mills, and now Sean Klein is all over the 31 DRT Kawasaki for second. Mills trying to hold on to that spot. Klein obviously a man on a mission tonight, trying to somehow ram into a miracle and win this championship, but he gets into the back of Mills, and they both end up going down, not off the bike though, so Hughes sneaks by as Mills tries to shut the door on Klein sneaking around the outside, and then Hughes ends up upside down, goes over the bars. Now Klein trying to get back around the outside of Daniel Mills, so they pretty much just crashed together, continued their battle, and in the midst of that, Hughes ended up going down. And this is all playing into the hands of Logan Leitzel up front, who is running a very solid pace. And as mentioned in the chat room for any of you watching live right now, Logan Leitzel was your fastest qualifier tonight, so he has really found his stride here towards the end of the season. And who knows, maybe really could sneak a moto win in here before our national season is over. Klein versus D-Mills has gone a little stagnant, but I feel like it's going to heat up just as soon as I look away. But heating up behind them, Moxie has still got Colton Mitchell right up his tailpipe here. And then a battle behind that between Hughes, and Mora lands on him. Or maybe there was just mid-air contact. I caught that mid-crash, so Dickerson slides on through. Here comes Smith on the 4. He's going to get the spot. And then lose it as he makes the same mistake Mora made a few laps ago, getting topsy-turvy out of the rut. So Chapman slides on through. Here comes Tyler Lewis right behind that on the 46. Everyone checking in the chat, asking if I'm drinking tonight. I already mentioned earlier. Oh, Smith gets landed on by Lewis. I thought that was going to happen a lap ago, and instead they wait a lap. Yeah, well, it's not that I can't, but I've felt really, really bad this week. Nauseous, sick to my stomach, very fatigued, and I feel like it's mostly due to the fact that not only did I drink heavily on Thursday, as Sean Klein goes around Daniel Mills for second, so that's going to change that around. But I drank on a little bit on Friday night, I think, when Nate would remember. Drank a lot on Saturday. Drank again, kind of a lot on Sunday, and wasn't even in my time zone for 90% of that drinking. And then so couple that with some jet lag, I was feeling the effects going back to work on Tuesday, that's for sure, and just not really feeling like drinking tonight. I'm sorry, I know some of you guys like that. But I just can't tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Battle for fourth. Hughes back in front of Klein. And Colton Mitchell. And right behind them, Isaiah Dickerson also coming through. And then Moxie. So Moxie's kind of lost a few spots in this scrum. And we got a little 3-rider train going up the hill here to the top. I forget the name of this jump. I know it has a name. And I know chat's about to tell me. But it's a very interesting jump. I would not feel too happy about jumping it in real life. Oh, Mitchell can't quite bust out the triple and is going to lose that spot to Dickerson. So it really is quite obvious that that triple is a big factor for these 250 guys, as they can't get it from the inside and sometimes can't even get it from the outside. Really need that good flawless drive. Right now just not working for Colton Mitchell. He's actually not been able to hit it the last couple laps. He's already right back on Dickerson, so he's gaining a lot of good time throughout the rest of the track, but not being able to do that triple seems to be his kryptonite at the moment. Throwing a little dualies with Dickerson. Moxie bringing up the rear with some fun floating of his own. Mitchell gets back around Dickerson. Nice outside move. Really made that look a lot easier than it should have been. But resetting things right now, 15 minutes into this thing. We got 15 minutes to go. And Logan Leitzel's lead out to 24 seconds over Sean Klein. So Klein not really making any huge inroads yet on Leitzel, which is kind of surprising. But having Leitzel qualify at the top of the timesheets definitely helps his case for making this thing look a little bit more realistic at this moment. And because of where he is and where we are on the track, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little run through the field, brought to you by the fine folks at Racetech, because we're in their section. Racetech.com. You can check out all their suspension funsies as well as their engine products and all kinds of different stuff. Check them out. We're waiting for second to come through. Logan Leitzel's already checked out front. Here is second, Sean Klein on the 74. Coming up behind him in third, 31 of Daniel Mills, DRT Kawasaki. And then a plethora of guys. Fourth, Jonathan Hughes. Fifth, Colton Mitchell. Sixth, I did Isaiah Dickerson. Seventh, Jordan Moxley on the 57 right there. Now eighth is Russ Chapman. So Chapman's made a few passes. He's up to that 8 ride on the number 13 Kawasaki. Here is ninth, Jeremy Smith, former 250 national champion. He's had some rough luck this moto. And then top 10 right now is Tyler Lewis. Behind that might have been 11th, but that also looks like 11th, Edward Mora. I'm going to just double check on the top of the stream. Lewis, nope, and then Morris. So now we have Seaberg coming. There is Ben Seaberg, 169. Lee Bradley, haven't heard much of him. 458, there he is, though. He's leading Phil Bull. And that is Mikhail Ming Woodley, I think, going with him. Jared Grigo, also up here. Zoe Cross giving chase to him. We've got a couple new faces tonight. Devin Ryan, Jeremy Cohenauer, Jack Zars, James Schuler, 21st. And a little bit of a gap. And in comes Dakota French. So now we have a bigger gap, and I think Dale Mullins will be next. Yes, it is, 214, Dale Mullins. Craig Leake, having a rough night of it, is in 23rd. And there's Steven Azarkowicz, Kevin Gonzalez coming through. One more rider getting in there, 298, I think, is Brandon Hedge, and then Logan Leitzel. So that's been a lap through the field, brought to you by the fine folks at Race Tech. Gives you an idea where kind of everybody is. A full lap. And that gap's still pretty solid. And Klein is down in second. He just clipped Jesse Calloway, I think that was. And that also tipped over Chase Donovan. And now your championship battle is suddenly very real as Colton Mitchell and Sean Klein go side by side down the hill. That pass right there would secure Mitchell the championship at the end of this moto. So Klein has to do something and do it quick. But Mitchell's going to get the triple this lap. And he's going to get a little bit bigger gap to go with it over his championship rival, Sean Klein. This is not what Klein wanted. Someone is stuck wide open to the right side of the screen right now. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. They must be going off the track. But Klein losing that spot to Mitchell, like I said, very crucial for the championship as it just flipped it over. Klein at that point had gotten the gap down to 24 points, but that one pass switches it to be a 28-point gap provisionally as we run right now. And that would be more than enough for Colton Mitchell to wrap up the championship. He only needs to be ahead by 25 or less. I'm sorry, or more after the end of this moto. So Klein would have been barely hanging on by his little shoestrings to his championship hopes if he was able to finish in second to Mitchell in third. But right now, like I said, it switched it back around. So Mitchell, if they stay where they are right now, would win the championship after this moto. So things kind of settling down between those guys. I have a quick question in chat that I'm just going to answer. Harry White asked if I'll be racing or streaming SX in 2018. I will say at the moment, if you're going to put a blame pie on those two things, probably about 80-20 streaming. Not too interested in the racing, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Never say never. So how about it, Logan Leitzel? And he is just absolutely in the zone right now. I'll go on board with him for a minute. He actually must have crashed last lap, 2:14.5. His best lap at a 2:02.3. Let's just kind of sit back and watch here for a minute. See how he is working that TM Factory Racing machine underneath of him here at Indiana. So the pressure might be mounting just a little bit, at least from what I can see from his riding right now. He's riding well, don't get me wrong, but you can see little things that are kind of fidgety and strange about someone who obviously knows this track very well. Just made a few slight bobbles that you can pick up on, and he's already lost 2.5 seconds since we went on board with him. And now Mitchell is in second. So Leitzel probably getting a little bit nervous, getting a little bit of those heebie-jeebies thinking about winning his first ever moto here. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fall apart. I mean, he's still got 8 minutes and 2 laps to work with, but that also means he only has 8 minutes and 2 laps to go. Doing a good job of winning a downed rider right there. Trying to rack my brain for just a moment, and I don't know if any of the TM Factory Racing guys are in here watching. We got TM Infidel and Tony Rubio, a couple other guys that are synonymous with that website and this brand name and game and stuff like that. I don't think that a TMFR or otherwise has ever won a Race Factory Gaming event before. Moto, Supercross, anything. Could be wrong. But it's looking good for them right now, I'll tell you that much. This Logan Leitzel pickup for those guys is looking like a real strong decision at this point in the season. It's Colton Mitchell checking in second now. And he is continuing to stretch out that gap over Sean Klein. So literally speaking, Sean Klein is watching his championship hopes fade away in front of him. Daniel Mills still running a strong 4th. Isaiah Dickerson has moved back up to 5th, and he is still in his moto-long battle with Jordan Moxey. And Russ Chapman has put on a fabulous charge to get where he is now. It's kind of been a slow progress, got a bad start, must have went down in some of that first lap carnage. Ended up back here with these guys, or actually well behind these guys, and now is battling with these guys. And quite honestly, by the look of his pace, looks like he is going to kind of weave through both of these guys before long. Makes a small bobble there. He certainly looks like he is the stronger of these 3 riders right now. Behind that, Tyler Lewis just made a small mistake and has Jeremy Smith breathing down his neck again. So another battle of guys that have kind of seen a lot of each other this moto already. Oh, Lewis, another mistake. Smith trying to pull alongside. Gonna try that inside. Smith has been working those insides all night long. Hasn't really quite made him work yet. These 250Fs are so momentum dependent these days. Jeremy Smith really good with smooth throttle control, good at working inside and outside lines. Quite honestly, is a better 450 rider than a 250 rider, at least in my opinion, in this game. But rides a 250 most of the time because the races are a little bit earlier, as we got a stack up as Chapman and Lewis hit. Smith slid out in the background, or he'd be well clear of these guys by now as they go 3 wide at the top of the hill. And Smith still trying to fight back with Chapman, and they're still almost 3 wide, or at least 3 abreast here. Oh, Smith jumping over Chapman, almost landed on him. Great action from these 3 guys, though. Chapman crashed back into this battle, then almost crashed both of them even further back. Ben Seberg is trying to sneak into this group from behind. Smith still trying to sneak an inside into there, but just can't quite make a move. 2 very, very different riding styles, especially where they are in the race right now. Is Smith able to get around Chapman as he makes a small mistake? Smith kind of been hovering around this spot the whole race, has been a little farther up and a little further back, but Ended up where he is and makes contact with Chapman twice, and Chapman is down. I thought Chapman was going to ride out of it, but he clipped Smith's rear tire again. What I was saying, though, is that Smith has kind of been cruising in this spot most of the race. Chapman, meanwhile, going balls to the walls, trying to get as many positions back as he can from an early crash as Moxie goes down as well. He is clear enough of Smith that he will still get up ahead of him, but he was ahead of Dickerson, so that's another lost spot for him. Must have been fairly close with Daniel Mills. Meanwhile, though, checking back in with your race leader, Logan Leitzel. I just have to check this because Alex Heckman said Logan Leitzel said GG in chat. And I'm trying to see. Yep, Logan Leitzel, TMFR, GG. Interesting. I don't know if he crashed or he had time to type that in midair or whatever. I don't know. Either way, what I do know is we haven't checked up on our versus PCU one to watch at all in this race. It's probably not the worst thing. He's having a rough moto. Jack Gatland hovering back here in the, what spot is he in? 27th? 28th. He's got Jonathan Hughes about to lap him there on the 134. It's not the best of nights for Gatland, but he's racing. He's running a decent pace. What I do want to talk about while we're back here, we have Lee Bradley for Bobby Racing. I quite honestly have never heard of this name before, but he's riding very well. He's in the points, I think, or just outside the points. He was in the points earlier. He's 22nd. Mikael Ming Woodley just outside the points as well. But in the points, another rider I have never heard of before, Jared Grigo. Running 20th right now, trying to pick up a championship point. It's got Colton Mitchell about to lap him there, but good on these guys showing up. Maybe it's their first race since amateurs. Maybe it's their first race ever. Either way, running strong. Even if they don't end up scoring points, they have to be happy with their performance. So Checkers confirming Jared Grigo won the last amateur races. Logan Leitzel is going full boner air at the front right now, putting on a show for us. I mean, he's riding well, no doubt about it. He's looking strong, looking smooth. I'm a little concerned with the vote of confidence. I don't know if it's good or bad, I guess. That's where my concern comes from. He starts play riding like this a little bit. His pace might drop. And then just one or two crashes, and this thing gets disastrous from his point of view in a hurry. I mean, he's led this whole thing almost, and he did not. Well, he did hit the mark before the time expired. We are still not at the expiration of 30 minutes yet, and it's 30 minutes plus 2 laps. So basically 3 laps to go as we're going to hit 30 minutes and 15 seconds right now. And I'll have to admit, Leitzel's impressive. He's riding strong, he looks comfortable, but, you know, lap traffic can be unpredictable. He only has, it's down to a 24-second, I say only, it's a big lead, no doubt. But I've seen bigger go to nothing real quick in this game before. And it wouldn't be the first time it's happened to someone who had never won a race either. So just, hoping for Leitzel's case that confidence plays in his favor. Obviously, Mitchell would like to wrap up the championship with a victory as Leitzel makes a few more bobbles there. As it runs right now, already talked about it, Mitchell is going to clinch the championship. So he doesn't need to push over his head, and that also may play into Leitzel's hands a little bit. Klein has just continued to lose more and more time to Mitchell. Just can't run his pace tonight. And unfortunately, he needed to do that and then some to walk away from this one as a champion. But it's still a tremendous first full season of Race Factory Gaming competition for Sean Klein. It cannot be understated. Not to say Mitchell is a veteran. It really was only his, I guess, third full season. Oh, we have a report in chat. Leitzel went down, and yeah, that gap is certainly a lot smaller. It's coming to 2 laps to go. Let's see what it resets. He must have gone down in this corner. Let's see, it is 13.2 now. So like I said, just a couple of crashes is all it takes, and suddenly this thing is really interesting. Trying to keep tabs on these battles going on a little deeper in the field, but obviously want to give credit where credit is due to Leitzel as Jeremy Smith just power slides his life away, and really power slides the position away as Ben Seberg triples over him. So finding a couple different things to watch back here. The real crux of the situation right now as we have it is we're looking at a first-time winner leading and a first-time champion in second. What happened to Leitzel? What just happened? He slowed down. Logan Leitzel in chat says, poor guy. Also, someone, Alex Heckman, letting me know in chat that Colton went down. Now the gap back out to 23 seconds, so Leitzel slowed down to apparently really quickly text chat that he was sad that Mitchell went down. Certainly riddled with confidence is Logan Leitzel. And he's going to come into the white flag here in just a moment. And he is looking to pick up that first career victory. I am going to sneak back into the field again, see if I can't find another battle to watch. Nobody really immediately close together. There's Leitzel lapping Jack Zars. They're doing a little bit of bike humping. So white flag in the air for Leitzel as he goes across the line in front of Zars there. Zars is, I think, running in the 14th spot. We got Kohenauer battling with Jared Grigo for 17th, so actually that was 15th for Zars. Kohenauer in 16th. Another small correction there. But good battle between these two. Grigo trying to score points in his pro debut, as brought up by Chris Riesenberg. So across. Kind of just giving one last glance through the field before we wrap this first moto up here. I'll have to sneak back to that battle before it's over. Oh, here is Moxie and Dickerson continuing their never-ending battle in this moto. Oh, and almost contact as Moxie nearly jumped across the track. Oh, man, that was really close. I thought they were going to make contact. They split lines. Splitting lines again. As one and only 3-time defending national motocross champion in the 450 class, Jesse Mullins joins us in chat. Oh. Or did I say 3-time? Is it now? Nope, 3-time. I don't know what I was thinking. Dickerson and Moxie still battling, but I don't want to miss what's going on at the front. And what's going on at the front is Leitzel has gone full celebration mode. He's doing some bike humping, front flipping the triples. This is kind of unheard of. I know he was fastest qualifier. I'm not trying to knock him down too much. But the last 3 weeks in this series for Logan Leitzel have been unreal, and right now it's starting off great tonight for him as he is the winner. Moto number 1, Logan Leitzel at Indiana. Unbelievable. Colton Mitchell, though, kind of the story of this moto. He's going to pick up second in this one, and with it, Colton Mitchell has just clinched the 2017 Ride365.com 250 National Motocross Championship in MX Simulator. Kind of fitting that Sean Klein will finish behind him in the races. He will also finish second behind him in the championship. But as mentioned about Klein, a tremendous first full season of racing. Nothing to hang his head low about. Really gave Mitchell a run for his money after we saw Sidehoff pull out of the series. Oh, Moxie gets crossed up for the finish line, but does beat Dickerson. Chapman is trying to outsprint Tyler Lewis to the line right now, and he will do so. Daniel Mills, after leading early on, drifted back into 8th, but still a solid ride. We got Edward Mora, Ben Seberg wrapping up the top 10 right now. Smith behind that, Phil Bull, Devin Ryan. So kind of a little freight train of guys all mixed together here. Jonathan Hughes. And then Jack Zar's already finished, so we're going to watch these guys finish it up. Doesn't look like any changing of positions will happen, although Phil Bull has heavy pressure coming to the line from Devin Ryan. This is for 12th. Ryan swings to the outside. Phil Bull gets the inside clean. So Bull will end up in that 12th spot. Jonathan Hughes will get 14th. Behind that, Zar's already finished 15th. It was Kohenauer in 16th. Jared Grigo, debut ride, 17th, and it's official on cuts now. Zoecross 18th. Schuler 19th. Craig Lee 20th. Just check up front if anything changed. Mills got Lewis on cuts and Rush Chapman. So Chapman had 4.5 seconds of cuts. But that was it. Logan Leitzel, your surprise yet unsurprising Moto #1 winner here at Indiana. We'll be back on this other side of this quick commercial break. Do not touch that URL bar. More Ride365.com Nationals coming up. RaceFactoryGaming.com would like to thank the following sponsors for their continued support. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Ride365.com Nationals powered by Versus PC in MX Simulator. My name is Kellen Brauer, and I'm now joined in the booth by the one, the only Race Tech Suspension Zone, Chris Riesenberg. What's up tonight, Chris?
I don't work for Race Tech. I don't know anything about Race Tech, but my name's Checkers, and it's nice to see you all for the final round of the Outdoor Motocross National Dirt Hill Ramping Competition.
All right, maybe you don't work for Race Tech tonight, but you are still a former pro racer, right? We can still use that?
I mean, I use that really loosely because define pro, bro. Once upon a time, lined up on a gate against some pro racers.
Oh, they're lined up on the gate right now in Sim, and it's time for Moto 2 as JLV is running off the track, and we are racing overhead view of the start here at Indiana, and into turn 1. Again, it is a whole shot for Daniel Mills on the 31, but he's coughing up the lead maybe to Smith. No, he's going to hold it through the first corner.
And with that, we'll make Daniel Mills our VersusPC.com one to watch. We'll see how far back in the pack he goes, or if he can hold her down out front. I do believe once upon a time he pulled a whole shot and won an RF race.
Oh, yes, he did. We were just talking about that in the first moto when he was leading, talking about his victory at Daytona earlier this year. And Jonathan Hughes, this is the exact same 1-2 that we had at the start of the last moto. These two have been fantastic at starts all year long.
Not so much at finishes, though. Jeremy Smith and Jack Zars battling it out, going up to the triple here in the 3 and 4 spot. Zars a mistake, and there goes Jordan, James, Richards, Moxie.
And they might all get passed by Kohenauer, who's sneaking down the inside after tripling up the hill. Actually, he's not going to get anybody as Zars fights back around the outside and shuts the door going into the next corner.
As Zars had the momentum, had the back tire hooked up on that Versus PC FamMX Honda.
Yeah, a lot of different line options for these guys tonight. A lot of these insides have those little rollers or anthill jumps.
Oh, Jeremy Smith is down.
Oh, again, another early crash for Smith has cost him. And there goes Lee Bradley, another debut ride. Oh, and he slides it down. Carlos slides through. We haven't seen either of our championship, well, no longer championship contenders, as Mitchell wrapped it up in that first moto. But here they come. Mitchell now with Lee Bradley and Klein right behind him, I think, as there's a bunch of guys in the air side by side here in this back section.
Colt Mitchell back in the 17 spot. Sean Klein behind him in 20th. They're pretty close together on the racetrack, but they got a long ways to go to get to the front of the field where we find Jonathan Hughes. Jordan, James, Richards, Moxie up into the number 2 ride. Jack Zarso, he face plants and finds himself laying underneath the Versus PC tent, allows Jeremy Kohenauer to move up on the MB Films number 42 up into the number 3 ride.
So it must have been
Jeremy Smith.
Yeah, it must
all
have been
the way back up to 4th.
A crash for D Mills and another crash.
And he just got sponge bobbed. Yeah. Plankton.
There's people going everywhere. Inside, outside. Phil Bull lays it down and has a small little fall-off crash right there.
Mitchell all the way up to 11th already, so he's made some quick passes here on lap number 1.
Yeah, he was really good getting through the field in the first moto, and it looks like he's going to work again in this one. Came from outside of the top 10 to second by the 20-minute mark of the race.
The leader's hitting the big uphill triple, starting to shape up a battle as Moxie is reeling in Hughes, and Hughes feels the pressure and goes down. So now Moxie going to be all by himself out in front. Another great performance going down right now for the Kahuna, Jeremy Kohenauer.
Quick update on our Moto number 1 winner, Leitzel. He's currently running in the 11th spot right now. So a decent start, but not the same one that we saw in the first moto from him. He started up front, took that lead early. He's got a little bit more of a battle to try to win this one and go 1-1 on the day. Going back and looking at Mitchell once again, he has now caught Alex
got a
Carlo.
Sick battle. Yeah. Carlo in a battle for national numbers along with a couple of his buddies. So I know he wants to do well in this moto, but he just surrenders a spot with a nice pass from Colton Mitchell, who's now going after Devin Ryan.
Yeah, Mitchell looks to be slicing his way pretty easily through this field so far.
Really impressed with how quickly Mitchell's been able to get through the field from a pretty poor start. About half a lap, he's passed about 12 guys. Or, sorry, a lap and a half.
Yeah, he is definitely cruising. Lost a little bit of time there to Devin Ryan. Almost had caught him, but now slides back a little bit into Carlos' clutches. Meanwhile, Logan Leitzel, he's the man on a move right now, too. He is already up inside of the top 10 to 7th, and that's about to be 6th
Mitchell
as Mitchell's on the ground, yeah. So Leitzel, this is not out of the question at all that he could still win this moto with the way he's riding. Fastest qualifier, already going to work on Carlo, and already by Carlo. So that was quick. I mean, I was talking about this in the first moto. This is
Someone
pretty,
IP check this guy.
This is pretty unheard of, right, for Leitzel. I mean, I know he's been good the last few weeks. He's been getting a lot better, but he went from barely getting top 10s, scoring points sometimes, to suddenly thrust into being the fastest guy on the track this week.
Did you just say thrusting?
Thrusting. If I'm not going to drink tonight, I mean, there's got to be sexual innuendos about the racing.
All right.
Okay.
SYS stage. We got the number 28. Isn't Moxie not supposed to be 28, right? Isn't
He's
that
57.
Gravedigger?
I got 57.
Well, he's running 28 because he just has skins covering it.
Yeah, probably the case.
These rules, they're really hard to follow, I tell you.
I know. Whoa, 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 Moxie. Going for a little ride.
All right.
And coming up next behind him, it is going to be Maserati and Lamborghini.
I thought we were going to keep it, try to somewhat professional here on the last round, boys.
Hey, I think you could compare Jeremy Cohenauer to a Maserati. He's riding a red machine. He's got stylish flow. He's got a little purple anodized tank there.
Where's the glitter?
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
He's really grinding against that seat, too. Trying to get the run to get over that big jump.
Whoa, Leitzel is lagged out. Oh no, he's off the side of the track. I'm sorry.
He was off the track. He was having offset issues, and Alex Heller just hit the deck right beside him.
Oh man, Leitzel sliced it through Chapman and Klein there.
Really loving the Rush Chapman setup, minus the helmet. Not really digging the helmet part.
What color would you go for the helmet? Just red to match the gear, or like a green helmet?
Black or white, maybe?
Whoa!
What exactly just happened there? I saw Chapman and Leitzel going flying.
Yeah, I don't think Leitzel was thinking of making that corner there. Quite frankly, not sure if Chapman did something to irk him, but Leitzel just went in for the kill. In my opinion, that was aggressive. So that's interesting. What's not interesting is how much bigger Jordan Moxie's lead is. It's getting bigger and bigger.
That's usually what happens.
If we were, I mean, I don't know how many skins you have, Chris, on the track, but if we were to hand out a best dressed award, I mean, who are you going with right now? Give us your best setup that you can see.
Well, I can actually watch it on the stream when we do a top 10 rundown, so I'll do it that way. I could have the stream up on the other monitor. So after we go through the top 10 rundown, I will pay attention, and we will give out the Checkers Award. And I'm not the most stylish person in the world, so yeah, you know.
Why is there not an award for like finishing the race in I don't know, 4th or 8th, the Checkers Award?
Because I really suck at sending prizes out. I'm not the worst in RF history by any means. Those of you still waiting on Supercross prizes, I will send them with national ones. I apologize for sucking at life.
That's right, I haven't got my email to you yet either, so... Anyway, back to this racing action, and it is action indeed between Daniel Mills and Russ Chapman. You got Colt Mitchell right behind them, so almost a 3, maybe even a 4-rider train if you count. I think that's Dickerson behind these guys.
Yes, it is. Anyone know what DRT stands for Mr. Daniel Mills?
Yes, it is Dixon Racing Team, the team that is famous
Chapman.
over there in Europe.
Big save from Chapman. Gives up the spot to Mitchell. Man, the way the first lap and a half, 2 laps was going, I thought Mitchell was going to go all the way to the front of the field. Has had some issues since then and really slowed down his charge. Fully raging battle of guys actually right behind Chapman. Zars, Bull, Dickerson, Mora, all grouped together. 4 guys, wheel-to-wheel action on the racetrack.
Did you say there's a raging battle and there's a bull in it?
Yeah.
All right.
He's chasing the red right now around the track. It's Jack Zarsis versus PC Fam MX Honda. And Phil Bull's going to have the opening. Dickerson going to go by. Mora's going to go by. Zars, a little slide out, loses 3 spots. Wada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Wham bam, thank you ma'am.
Yeah, that's how quickly things happen. In Race Factor Gaming competition, you have one small tip over, lose 3 seconds and 3 spots at the same time.
Battle for the number 2 spot is on right now. Jonathan Hughes all over the back wheel of Jeremy Kohenauer. Oh, yeah.
This is definitely a much better moto thus far for Jonathan Hughes. Started up front in the first moto and just slowly anchored his way back to 14th.
Yeah, he's got those starts on lock. Oh, there's the mistake there. He's had to work on a little consistency this year to put the laps together and avoid the big mistakes, but running at the front with all those good starts, it will come, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed. It looks like he's got the speed to run up there, but like you said, it's just been the mistakes. Got to limit those mistakes, and it'll come around.
Wait, we got a battle for the lead right now. Moxie must have went down, and Kohenauer trying to get inside of him.
Talk about a turnaround moto. Kohenauer was nowhere near the front all last moto, was struggling just outside of the top 10, ended up, I believe, 15th. Going after Moxie for the lead right now. Really should have done shots this week as compared to last week. There are some jumps on this track for a whipping, I'll tell you.
Kohenauer has just had to see that mistake from Moxie, and it actually causes Moxie to lay it down. He goes to the lead. I was just going to say it probably fires him up to attack, and now Jonathan Hughes will be all over the backside of Moxie. Lap rider swapping out like J-Lo in a rap video. Back end going all over the place. Hughes trying to go around the inside.
Oh!
And he's head over heels over bars.
And Leitzel takes some serious evasive action, goes off into the start area. Oh, and Hughes gets clipped by Lewis. He has a double fall off. And he went from 3rd to 9th, it looks like. 8th. So many spots lost. He was battling for 2nd, ends up 8th. Double fall offs will do that to you, though.
Quietly, Leitzel moves himself up into the 3 spot, going around the banners, saying, yeah, I don't care about those, running a 2:01 lap time. Logan Leitzel is laying the hammer down, and he is not far out of the lead. There's a potential for him to go 1-1 on the day.
Yeah, I talked about it in my moto option keys to the race is to go out. It's the last race of the season. You kind of just have to forget about everything else and send it one more time. And Leitzel is certainly doing that tonight.
Last race of the year, Kevin. Can't hold anything back now.
Yep, that's right. You got it, Carlos. It's all about that last race.
But Leitzel definitely on the charge right now, laying down some absolute burners. Holy corner speed through that corner. He is the one to watch right now. Screw the versus PC.com one to watch being D Mills. Logan Leitzel has the spotlight shining on him.
He's just carrying so much more speed than these guys, just all over the track. Oh!
All over the backside of Jeremy Cohenauer right now. Leitzel trying to make some moves like Rico Suave in the New York Club and move on in. Find himself a date with at least a 2 ride, and that'd be definitely an overall for him.
Yeah, I think he's looking at the overall right now anyway.
Now, speaking of Rico Suave, he's on to end the night with a bang.
Oh, I thought he got into the back of Cohenauer. He dives to the right side. He's trying to make the pass down the inside, but that line has not worked out too well coming through this area.
Now he's going to try around the outside. He's got the momentum and the run and the pass.
Wow.
Logan Leitzel.
Strong.
On rails.
Yeah. Kind of making it look a lot easier than it should right now. Wow, he is carrying unreal amounts of speed. Oh, he clips Donovan.
The down lapper. I think that was Ali Slomo, maybe?
Yeah, it was. And Leitzel just went way off the track, and he's still off the track. Must have missed at least a couple timing gates there. Fortunately, he didn't miss too many that had to go back through the banners again. So just when he had almost gotten to Moxie, he was making some unreal passings on Cohenauer, and then lays it down, hitting Sally Slomo, as you mentioned. So that kind of settles the battle down out front a little bit.
For now, and we're halfway through this, so a lot of time left for Logan Leitzel. But first, we're going to watch it. I guess we're going to watch him go after Cohenauer before we get into our little special segment, I guess, of the evening.
Oh!
Hope he goes right around. Cohenauer makes a mistake. Leitzel actually made a mistake too, but not quite as big. So, now that cooled down, it's time for the Ride365.com Top 10 Rundown. Out in the lead, we got Architect Rider Jordan James Richards Moxie leading the way. Running in the 2 ride, it's Logan Indiana Jones Leitzel. Battling it out with the 42 MV Films Rider. Next on film, Jeremy Cohenauer. Nice ride going right now for the 46 of Tyler Lewis. Relax the tire, 46 running in the 3 spot now. We dropped out Cohenauer. Cohenauer dropped into the 4 ride. Give it up for the 74, one of our title contenders. Gonna probably wrap up second in the series. It's Sean Klein riding for Evergood. Devin Ryan, relax the tire, number 32, putting the cap on a great season right now, running in that 6 ride. Running the RMZ 2018, battling it out right now with the 134 of Jonathan Hughes, BPC Husqvarna. MV Films has picked up the privateer rookie Isaiah Dickerson, and he's rewarding them with an 8th place ride going right now. Meow. Edward Mora riding for Evergood on the 48. He's running in the 9 ride. And rounding out the top 10, it's number 10, soon to be a numero uno for Prime Design Graphics. Driver number 10, Colton Mitchell.
And kind of feeding off that last comment you made about Mitchell, I don't know if you know anything or have any inside info you can give us, Chris, but is Mitchell planning on staying 250s next year again?
I have zero idea, actually. I did play with him, actually, earlier this week, and he just said he sucks on a 450, which, I mean, his sucking versus most of our sucking is probably not that bad, and he has a whole offseason to learn it. I am not really sure. Wow, Mitchell flying. I'm just watching straight on the other monitor.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. He just hit something and just exploded.
Tyler Lewis has found his way all the way up to the 2 spot. He's a man on the move. Now, I told you I was going to award somebody with a sick-looking setup. As I see Cohenauer's on the ground, he's going to get passed up by Sean Klein. But I think I'm going to give it to the 32 of Devin Ryan for 2 reasons. One, that bike's pretty legit. Not a lot of guys riding the RMZ. I like the Keller combo. It's all coordinated well. And it was in their freaking original skin pack, which there's a few guys that are still running their original skin packs that I can see without having to re-download things all throughout the year. So that's another reason. Devin Ryan setup, I think, looks legit.
I do like that
It's
setup.
the legit kit.
It's the first, well, they're running A-Star boots, but it's the first, like, full Fly Racing setup I've seen, I think, ever in this game. Nobody had made a Fly Racing replica helmet, but these guys did.
And let's check in on our versuspc.com 1-to-1. Daniel Mills running in the number 10 spot aboard that number 31 DRT ride.
And he's holding off Colton Mitchell, which is kind of surprising. We saw him at the beginning of the race, kind of slicing through the field, making quick work, and then just hit the wall and has kind of gone backwards. Do you think he's got that case of wrapped up the titles, so it's just kind of the, you know, decompress moto
I mean,
here?
he's got to have a little bit of a lack of focus going on, I would think. Like, you just don't quite have that sharp razor sharp edge of block everything out. I mean, he's still he's still talented and fast, but I'm sure he's much more relaxed and probably having a little bit more, I shouldn't even say fun, because I'm sure he has fun when he's doing well as well, but just less serious approach to the racing action as he's going to try to go inside here on Daniel Mills. And Mills makes it easy by going head over heels over bars and hitting the deck. Lewis dropped back to third. Leitzel finds his way back into second again. Jordan James Richards, Moxie Team Architect continuing to lead the way.
Yeah, he's just been kind of steady Eddie running up here at the front. Leitzel, like you said, now in the second is going to start giving chase to him, and it's been about 8 minutes since he last was on him for the lead, so Moxie's been just kind of cruising alone for the most part.
Leitzel's lap time, so he just dropped to 2:02. And Moxie, a huge mistake. That's going to draw Leitzel right up to his back tire, maybe in front of him. They're bar to bar down the hill.
Well, Leitzel has to change up his line. He loves outside right there, but he has to sneak down the inside, and it costs him. And now it really costs him down again.
Just gives it all up again. There goes Tyler Lewis on by.
Seems like a case of Leitzel has 1 or 2 really comfortable lines he has all throughout the track, and when he can't get to those lines, kind of ruins his whole flow. So Klein now coming up behind Leitzel to kind of close things in a little bit there. Lewis was able to get back around for second, so Moxie survives for now.
Now the battle for third is on as Sean Klein has moved up to the back of Logan Leitzel.
Yeah, and
he's going to try to go to the inside.
Well, he's bringing Hughes with him, and Hughes is going wide and might get the triple over Klein here. Let's see. Sends it. Oh, comes up short. Just not able to get it, and now makes a little mistake into the corner, so all that time he had gained, he lost it right back, and now Devin Ryan is right behind him. All these guys running nice and close here. 23-minute mark just passed, so winding down the last moto of the season for these guys. Last opportunity to send it.
Watch out right now. Tyler Lewis is under 3 seconds out of the lead. He has just been quietly sneaking up through the pack.
Oh,
and commentators curse for sure. Logan Leitzel going to go around him.
Oh, and
now double fall off issues for Lewis. Didn't fall off a second time, but now triple slide outs, I think, comes on right in front of Devin Ryan.
How quickly his fortunes changed there, that's for sure. Now battling with his teammate again.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the theme of the season for these relaxed tire riders. They've seemed to have been glued to each other week in and week out. Lewis mistakes, going to re-enter again in front of Devin Ryan and just send her off the single.
Yeah, he did. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
24 minutes in, so 6 minutes plus 2 laps, 7-second gap. Leitzel back into the number 2 ride. Can he go 1-1 on the day?
At this point, he's got to be thinking overall, and that when he keeps going outside the banners right there, he's just sliding it down all over the place. But I I don't think there's anybody up here other than Klein, if Klein could go win this moto, that really has a huge impact on the overall with him right now. I mean, Moxie
and I
was...
think just as fast as Leitzel's been on this racetrack, I mean, I feel like he just thinks it'd be easy to go win, almost just eliminate a couple mistakes is probably what he's thinking.
Right, but like Moxie got 5th in that first moto. Klein was 3rd, so I mean, if he goes in ahead of him and maybe wins, then changes the whole complexion. But really, right now, Leitzel could afford to get 4th and still win the overall as they run.
And definitely don't count out Tyler Lewis. He is looking really good as he's trying to put the pressure back on to Sean Klein, who seems to have kind of strapped in right behind Leitzel, threw the rope on.
Yeah, Klein would desperately like to wrap out his season with a victory after a so-so first moto. It was a 3rd place, but just could not run Colton Mitchell's pace once Mitchell got to him, passed him, and then just pulled right away from him. And just watched that championship disappear.
Still, I think it has to be looked at as a good season for Sean Klein. I mean, I know that there was people before the season saying he was a championship contender, but I mean, he was a rookie that raced a few races last year, and that was it.
Right.
Oh, Moxie's down with the lead, so here comes Leitzel.
Leitzel's going to get that lead that he wanted, but nobody told him Moxie was down, I don't think. He just sent it into the corner. Same thing with Klein. Product
Sean
of the
Klein.
Kind of the thing I see with these guys a lot these days is, and I think Klein is one of them, they don't go into TeamSpeak or group chats and get help, get spotters. They just kind of go in their own zone and race by themselves, and I've seen that happening more and more.
In the way. Whoa, Sean Klein, did you just see that?
That was ridiculous. He threaded the needle on that one for sure and was able to get around Moxie, but Moxie's got to watch out because here comes Lewis sending it into the rollers, and they're going to go side by side up the hill. Oh, their line's coming together. Oh,
Tyler
Lewis down.
gets the short end of that stick, unfortunately.
You know, I think that was a little bit of the lag coming into play, too, with Jordan Moxie being from Great Britain. Didn't look like Lewis really landed in Moxie's zone, but it took him down, and now Moxie goes down as well. So that all comes undone, and now it's really down to Leitzel versus Klein for the overall.
Moxie, another mistake, is actually going to drop back behind Lewis again. Lapped riders everywhere.
How about Edward Mora kind of sneaking up into this? He's right behind Devin Ryan now, and really not too far off of that battle in front of these guys between Moxie and Lewis.
Yeah, definitely a tight grouping here in this 250 class. No one's really been able to get away thus far. And now anything can happen. We have lapped riders everywhere around the racetrack. We're going to work that outside line, trying to get a run on Devin Ryan.
Yeah, I wanted to pick your brain for a moment, Chris, about this back section here. Obviously kind of like a newer feature in Sim, at least this year. And we've seen a couple different iterations of this whole back section used over the years since this National came in. Do you like this one, or would you prefer one of the older ones that we've used before?
I mean, I honestly played a lap and a half on the track, and I really don't have any experience with the old track. I never really played it. By this time in the year, I'm kind of checked out of RF Gaming Nationals, working on off-season stuff and such. So, yeah, honestly, couldn't even tell you.
All right.
Great answer, I know.
I know. That's what you're getting out of us, though. 12th round of the season, 29th race of the year.
But I think for the first time in a long time, I mean, we had no delays in the national schedule. I mean, knock on wood, as we still have two 450 motos to run, but everything running on time, on schedule.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood for this too, but it wasn't. But maybe 10 months ago, we thought this was never going to happen. So,
Without a doubt, thank you to everyone who's helped make this happen, as well as all the racers on the racetrack.
yeah, it's been a fantastic season, no doubt about it. And what I've been most excited about, at least in the Nationals, Can't say for the 450 class, but every 250 race this year we had a consi. So we had full gates in the 250 class all year long, and 450s it wasn't until Washougal that we saw not a full gate. So that's pretty strong because it's not been like that every year in the past, you know. Going back to the battle for third, Moxie and Lewis still locked together.
Where's this Tyler Lewis been the whole outdoor season? It looks like he has some ridiculous speed, but man, he's making a lot of mistakes. Every time we seem to go to him, it looks like he's making a mistake.
Yeah, he's really having to push the pace right now to hold Moxie behind him. I think Moxie
Speaking of behind him, right behind them will be the 51 of Donovan, leaving that number behind in great sadness, as he was saying between the motos. There's a poor performance here, continues, and he won't have enough points to earn number 51 this year.
Oh, so sad.
Sorta sad, sorta heartbroken. I think I hear Chase singing to his number right now. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. Baby, come back.
Oh, Lewis down in the rollers almost takes Moxie with him. And I thought that allowed someone else through, but it didn't. Here comes Ryan now, and he's bringing Mora with him, so Ryan slides around Lewis. I don't know if Lewis has enough muster to clear it. Yeah, he backs it down.
Mora's sending it over him.
Yep, and lines come together.
Lewis.
Wow.
Mora front end stoppy. Not really the nicest move in the world there from Lewis. I think he tried to make a hole when there wasn't one, but he was also in the air, so.
Yeah, I mean, Mora, to be fair, also did shut the door hard, but you can't blame Mora because I don't think he would have expected Lewis to come in that hard and try to make something happen out of nothing.
I think that might have been a case, too, of not being used to singling into that turn. He just kind of sent it up the inside jump maybe further than he intended. But definitely didn't work out well. As also not working out well as Sean Klein was all over the backside of Moxie. Makes a slide out in the turn and loses all that time once again. We have hit the 30-minute mark for our leader, Leitzel. He's going to come around here and grab the 2 lap board, I'm guessing. I don't know. We're right at 32 minutes, so he actually... Oh. Yeah, should be 2 lap board.
Sean Klein just getting up from a crash.
He's gonna... Well, there was their teammate down, I guess.
Yeah, that must have been Carlo, I believe.
Sneaking up into 6th right now, Isaiah Dickerson. Moved around Edward Moore now. Cohenauer running strong into 8th spot. It's a lapper behind Chapman, who's moved up into 9th. Colton Mitchell just hanging out in 10th place right now. Ready to pop some champagne after the race tonight.
Or some apple cider, because he's 15?
Virtual champagne.
I don't think... I'm trying to think the last time someone was old enough to do that when they won a championship. Maybe Fresco's this year?
12.
Zach, 2013.
Zach Dupuy.
Would have been 24.
Leitzel front flip to face plant Superman off the uphill triple.
And he is just sitting down next to the bike. He's just having a little sit.
He'd be champagne spraying tonight too, but I don't know how he's probably. I don't think he's old enough either.
I don't know. I think he's 18, 19. Maybe it's only been Haskell and Dupuy. Is that really the case? That have been old enough to drink when they won a title? That's weird to think about.
That ain't Byron, that's for sure, right? That's not.
Leclerc was under.
I don't know how
when
old
he won
Tyson
his
is.
titles. Well, Tyson, I think this year was old enough. Finally, Jesse's not old enough. Yeah, I think that must.
Mark Zeidler.
Yeah, Fathery, and Mikey wasn't 21 yet. That's weird.
But the age is different in Oz, right? So
18.
But I mean, I don't even know how old Mikey was.
I don't know. He still wore his race snuggie every night that he raced. So that's all I know.
Mikey, come back. The white flag is flying. Logan Leitzel 1 lap away from going 1-1. Logan, Indiana Jones Leitzel.
You're right about that. Something special about this racetrack for this man. Lit a fire under him, and he is on it tonight. Talked about it right at the beginning of this moto. Started it out outside of the top 15, was in 11th after a few laps, had a real uphill battle to try to come up and win this thing, but it was no fluke in that first moto. He came to play tonight, that is for sure.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Leitzel here on this last lap. He's been throwing some huge celebration all moto, the first moto, and now that he's in the lead here in moto number 2, doing some bike humping, obviously pumped.
Yeah, I don't know if you were here for that end of the first moto, but around the 25-ish minute mark, he started doing boner airs on all the tables and stuff like that, and looked like he was certainly full of confidence. He typed in chat twice while he was in the moto.
Absolutely did see that. I was just checking it out. Actually was watching on your stream a bit and then jumped in the server and checked it out and was definitely shocked to see Mr. Leitzel out front. And now he's down. I mean, that's going to open the door for Moxie. Now he has enough lead. He'll be able to get back going, but it does make it a little more risky if he's going to go for the front flip here on the big triple.
Oh, I think he still sends it. He's going to have way too many people telling him not to, or to do it. It looks smooth around the corner. Plus, front flips are easier in sim. I mean, come on, right? Nope, not going to do it. I think he just wants to wrap this thing up and go home at this point.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
I really did thought that Leitzel had no F's to give tonight.
Well, I talked him up.
Been celebrating.
That didn't help.
Oh!
But we should talk him up, that is for sure, because Logan Leitzel has surprised the world tonight. He's going to come down and go 1-1 at Indiana. Logan Leitzel wins the 250 class at Ironman.
TMFactoryRacing.com taking home the win. Jordan James Richards, Moxie, Team Architect, going to come across in second. Runner up in the championship. Riding the 74 Evergood machine, Sean Klein going to come around in third. Followed closely by his teammate Edward Mora. Tyler Lewis right there, relax the tire. Nice ride up into the 6th spot for MV Films pickup, Isaiah Dickerson. And
Chapman
who is going to get 7th?
Oh, and Mitchell's
Chapman.
there.
Oh, Mitchell puts down Devin Ryan, allows Chapman time to get through, then Mitchell.
I don't know, I think Ryan crashed by himself, but I couldn't see it perfectly, so I'm not going to say that.
I am not sure either. Ryan's going to get up and come across right in front of Cohenauer. Here comes Phil Bullshit. Steve Volka. Our versus PC.com. One to watch. Daniel Mills. Whole shot to 12th place. Not a bad ride for the 31. It's Z Rookie. No longer a rookie. As soon as he crosses this finish line, he will then become the sophomore. Jack Stars versus PC. Fam MX. Race Tech. And all the other awesome sponsors.
Yeah,
Moto Jason.
Zars has had a good season, but I will say, if you had asked me at about round 3 of Supercross who was going to have the better rookie year, Zars or Klein, I think I know which answer I would have went with.
I would have went Zars as well. He was excellent. We talked about him a lot in Supercross. Jonathan Hughes going to come around in 14th. Salty Walty Gebhardt going to be the last driver on the lead lap here at the off-road moped driving competition. He really ramping them dirt hills straight to a faceplant Superman right there. He done gonna got to get up. He hit his head. I don't know if he's going to know which way that moped course goes, but he's going to try to get her done.
That moped?
Man, this one time, they were ramping them dirt hills real hard. I saw a guy, he ramped 2 dirt hills at one time. I can't believe they showed that stuff on TV. Them daredevils, someone on it don't kill themselves. They can't show that on TV.
Gebhardt's going to bring it down, though, to wrap up the 250 season, maybe. As he rolls it across the line, cuts her in. Brett Power scored a point. Hey, how about that? Shout out to the Donut MX fans out there. That is it. Lewis lost the spot to Dickerson. Leitzel goes 1-1 at Ironman. And that's the 250 season in a nutshell. Thanks for watching the 250 class here at Ironman. Don't touch that URL bar if you are watching live. Only refresh it here in about 5 minutes. We're coming right back with more 450 action. Well, you've been watching the Ride365.com Nationals powered by Versus PC.